Alright, where are we at in story? We got the manager of Svits we need to talk to. When it rains, well, this looks ominous. Judging by his countenance, the manager of Sweets has ill tidings for you. Great. Great. Ah, I suspect that you might be awake. I could scarce imagine you sleeping through such a commotion. An entire host of sin eaters appears to be advancing upon the Crystarium. Emergency measures are being taken as we speak. Rest assured, however, that we are safe so long as we remain under the Crystal Tower's aegis. You may return to your quarters if you wish. Yes, I thought you might feel that way, and I cannot say that your assistance would be anything less than welcome. I must remain here to disseminate information to other residents. You are under no such obligation, and thus free to aid any of the townsfolk who may be distressed. The Exedra tends to become a point of congregation in times of need, crowded with those seeking solace and companionship. You'd have my personal gratitude if you would offer succor to those there. So we're under attack. Few townsfolk are about, and you spy none who appear to be in distress. Fatewind. I've only just returned from Amarang, yet I find the Crystarium moments from being beset by sin eaters. Where they're coming from? This shouldn't be possible. We restore the darkness. Well, this is a fortunate coincidence. Brother, tell me you have some idea why this is happening. I may, but for the moment we'll need to postpone such discussions in favor of action. The Crystal Exarch is preparing to deploy a barrier around the Crystarium as we speak. Ensuring that he is able to do so should be our first concern. There are a number of instruments placed about the Crystarium that function as anchors for the barrier. I'm on my way to activate them now. In which case, 3 pairs of hands will be better than 1. Very well, I'll take the ones to the south. I shall deal with the northern apparatus then. Will you handle the western too? They are ensconced on platforms extended from the upper level of the Aetherite Plaza. At some point I need to collect those so I can fly in these former zones, which really, honestly, is only going to become important whenever they have events. Because they like to bring us back to other zones. Despite having very little idea as to how it functions, it appears that you have activated the device successfully. Sweet. I can't remember anything that happened before, but...
Sin-Eater sighted! They're coming!
Excellent. The barrier is holding.
That's good news for the Crystarium, but what of the rest of Lakeland?
Lena and the City Guard have taken to the field. Thancred and the others have already joined them. Let us do the same.
We ought to join the Vanguard as soon as possible. If the number of eaters we just saw is any indication, we'll be facing a formidable host. What lovely weather. Just what we needed. It seems the battle has already begun in earnest. Make haste. Crystarian forces are engaging the Cindiers at various locations across Lakeland. Assist them in defeating the Eaters before they are decimated. I do like the appearance of this zone, so I'm glad we get to trek through it, I guess. I hear shouting. Come on.
Let's give it our all.
They need our help.
Help is at hand.
Oh, is it straight up 100? Or are they going to have varying values? I look into the right. Okay, maybe not. More eaters. Don't let your guard down. That's not good. So I've been using a mouse, a mouse with hotkeys on the side, and it appears those are not responding. That's not good. It's not good. Those Eaters, they're moving toward Radisca's round. We should follow, but we cannot neglect those in need of aid.
Leave the healing to me.
Oh, maybe it is 100. Holy hell. That bar ain't going down very quickly. It was this bad here. I shudder to think what it's like elsewhere. A timely arrival, Fatewind. I have my hands full here. Mine own magic shall suffice to aid Ishtula. I bid thee offer succor to the god. That we're missing. Oh, okay. They're spawning here. After I pass? Cool. Cool. The Aegis Aether swells. I would hate to find out what it intends to do next. Defend me. Let none interrupt my incantation. Draw the less Aegis within the perimeter. Master Matoya has a few tricks up her sleeve. Allow me to demonstrate.
It was nothing.
As if you've none of your own. Let's make for the imperative, shall we? Someone hath made short work of these eaters. Fatewind, you'll be glad to know that the locals have all taken shelter. Nevertheless, we can't allow the eaters to gain any ground. With me. That can't be good. Gods damn it all, we're too late. Welcome to the game. How are things in the Great White North besides cold? Cold. It's pretty much just cold. I'll follow the Eater. You press on the imperative. I'm staying with you. We've lost too many already. We must hurry. These Eaters are too organized. They cannot merely be acting on instinct. It is as we feared. But our task is as it ever was. Turn the tide. You had a really cold week, now just regular cold. The lives of the wounded are in our hands.
On your feet!
Oh, shit. There are a lot of them. Have care. That is no ordinary eater. More eaters. They're protecting it somehow. We shall need to deal with them first. I feel a swell of ether. Gather around me quickly.
Theory and practice!
Perhaps now is the time to put my research to the test. And yet more still come. Freedom, buy me some time, Alpha. Honey, oh, sorry. Right, everyone, channel your ether into Alice.
Your help will suffice. My strength is yours.
May the trolls guide you.
The stars shall glide.
Let's give them a
You did a
try.
Moga game.
We can't steal.
We fight for those who cannot.
There are so many. Lena, hold on. They turned on me.
This one is mine! We need only hold out a little while longer. Reinforcements are coming, remember? The captain said so. We're going to be all right. Run! Run, damn you! The Warrior of Darkness has returned. The Bloody Knight has returned, so stay with me, eh? You can't go dying now. God damn it! Please let this work. Please let this work. No, no, no! Stay back! Stay back! did you spare me? Why? What have I done to deserve this mercy?
Forward! Forward! If you can still hold a sword, follow me! Wounded to the rear! Weapons at the ready! Let's make this count!
Fight and struggle. Seek salvation by your own hands. Though the losses be grave, endure them. Though the victories be hollow, claim them.
Rhino Man, welcome in. Nodders. It seems we've driven them back, for the time being at least. The wounded have been collected and are undergoing treatment now. Once they're ready to be moved, we'll have them carried back to the Crystarium. The dead as well, of course. Those whose bodies remain, well, anyway. The others are helping to treat the wounded. I'm planning to assist in moving them, but even so, we simply don't have enough hands. I'm sure you're fit to fall over after what we've been through. Gods know I am. But if you could see a few of the patients, it would be an enormous help. Captain Lena is about somewhere, so you might ask considering her. You might also consider asking her if there are any other outstanding areas of need. We'll talk later. Aye. With tear-filled eyes, the prone man gazes up at you. His fingers twitch as if to reach for you, but he lacks the strength to raise his hand. Anguished G. Anguished G. Anguished Scarred. Thank you, but it's too late. One of them... It got me. My turn, please. Please kill me, I beg you. Trembling guard. Don't touch me! I killed her! I killed her! She was one of them, I know, but... Yes.
Oh, I did not see you there. Is there something you need? Injuries are part and parcel of battle. While there's breath in my lungs, I shall see my duties done. Don't pretend you're not of the same mind. You fought well today. Saved a great many lives. Thank you. Unfortunately, this war is far from over. We must replenish our ranks and shore up our defenses before they attack again. Now, if you will excuse me. I am fine. Completely and utterly fine. Better than fine. Hale and hearty and still alive to mourn those who are not. Who I failed to protect when they needed me most. We've come so far, so goddamn far. I could have sworn the end was in sight, and now... Now they will never see it.
Impudent worms of the Crystarium! The tragedy that has befallen you is of your own making. Divine retribution for your defiance. The heavens have bequeathed to you a benevolent savior, me. I offer you freedom from pain and suffering. A paradise where man and sin-eater might live in peace and harmony. Why, already, our winged brothers and sisters regard me and mine as kin, alike to them in beauty and purity. But you not only reject my prophet hand, but raise your own against my sin-eaters. But it is only right that they respond in kind. Let this be a lesson to all those who would walk the path of sin. The wicked shall not inherit this world!
Lena is gazing solemnly upward, and it is not difficult to guess what occupies her mind. Father's ship is already gone. How flattering that he came all this way just to give his little speech. I apologize for my earlier outburst. Rest assured that I have no intention of allowing any of my wounds to affect the performance of my duties, especially not now. If I may, could I ask that you seek out Thancred and Minfilia for me? They endangered themselves on my behalf, and I would feel better knowing they are well looked after. Thancred in particular sustained quite an injury from my sin-eaters. I would not be surprised if he were in spaghetti still. Please, give them my thanks. You're here for me. I'm sorry to put you through the trouble. I'm fine, really. The Eater landed an unfortunately solid blow, but the healers here have done wonders. I'm more worried about Minfilia. She's not taking it well. Could I ask you to speak with her? My attempts to reach out seem to have had the opposite effect. She's gone off to the Hortorium, ostensibly to fetch herbs for Chesimil, but just talk to her, will you? Oak. What are you doing here? Thancred. It's my fault, you know. I jumped at the chance to help Lena, but was careless, and now it's my fault. You can make up for it by being there for him. Are you sure? I brought him nothing but trouble thus far, and what if it's worse next time? All I do is make mistakes, put others in danger. I'm sure that he'll resent me for being this weak. Maybe he already does. But you're right, I can still help. If only by seeing these herbs safely to Chesimil. There are only 2 of us on the list, but I'll need to ask about this one. I've looked high and low, and I can't seem to find it anywhere. Would you mind collecting the other? I'd hate to delay any longer than I already have. We're looking for something with soft leaves that's very fragrant, in an unmistakably medicinal way, I was told. We only need 2 sprigs or so. Once you've got them, you can bring them directly to Chesimil. Whoever gets there first can explain that the other will be there shortly. Thank you. I appreciate the help. This plant has no scent whatsoever. It is unlikely to be the herb Chesimil asked for. This This plant has rigid leaves and smells of fruit. It isn't likely to be the herb. Just me asked for. This plant has soft leaves and smells strongly medicinal. Ah, Ophelia told me that you would be bringing the rest. Elven dill. Potent medicinal. Didn't mean to sound like that when I said it, but... a potent medicinal herb that very much smells the part. It's a name for its pointed leaves. Marvelous. With this I can replenish our stores of medicines. We're struggling to keep up the number of wounded that are being brought in. I wasn't on the field, but it doesn't matter. The patients' faces make plain that it was a horrible battle. And we're still fighting it, I suppose, though with bitter medicine rather than sharp steel. But we'll win. I promise you that. Seems I owe you an apology for dragging you to yet another battlefield when you've just come off the front lines. In both cases, I'm sure your efforts saved more than a few. With whatever this word is in good working order, the Crystarium's people will be well cared for. More lie ahead, of course. Battles only you can fight. Not that we intend to let you do it alone, but that's a matter to discuss with the Exarch. You know the Exarch? We do. Was there something you needed? I need you to tell him something, for me. My dearest friend, you see, he was there on the battlefield with me, but only one of us is here to speak of it. At the end, before the wound killed him, I heard his dying words. I never knew that our world was this beautiful, he told me. I'm so glad that I got to see the night sky. I don't know how the Exarch feels about what happened out there. I don't know if what Vothri said is true, if our losses are just deserts, and we doomed ourselves to worse by continuing to fight this fight. But I believe in the Warrior of Darkness, and the Crystal Exarch. I don't think what they've done is wrong. I don't think we're wrong to fight with them either. My friend, he smiled in the end. Just as he smiled when he raised his glass to celebrate the return of the night. That's how I want to remember him. So I want to tell the Exarch, don't give up, don't give in, please. We'll tell him, you have my word. The best way out. Thancred seems keen to quit the infirmary. Okay. I think I need to look up how to pronounce that word. I've never seen that word before in my life. S-P-A-G-Y-R-I-C-S. Spagyrix. Spagyrix? So was Spagyrix. Arguably the strangest looking option. But now we know, and hopefully I'll remember that whenever we get to the next mentioning of Spagyrix. If you're ready, why not go on ahead to the ocular? You can keep the Exarch company while I fetch Alphino. Don't worry, I mean to borrow the swiftest samurai I could find, so we shouldn't keep you long. You should have passed on that message, eh? Do you have business with the Crystal Exarch? Just say the word and I would be happy to escort you to the ocular. Welcome, my friend. Tales of your heroism on the battlefield precede you, but I confess I found them more gladdening than surprising. I hear no few of our people have you to thank for plucking them from the jaws of death. Would that they had not need. Here are the would that's. Would that they had not needed saving to begin with. The responsibility for that lies with me. One of our soldiers said that. Thank you. This is sure that I fully intend to continue our work. I will not shrink from what must be done, now least of all. Though I mourn the loss, I will not lose myself to grief. Even should regret be my constant companion. I will follow the path I have chosen to its end. We have some time before the others arrive if you'd like to talk. If I were to confess any doubts I might harbor, no one need ever know. No, I believe you have enough burdens without my adding to them. Nevertheless, thank you.
My friends, with your aid, we have weathered a brutal assault.
Sorry I'm late, though I would not have been had anyone thought to notify me in advance.
As I was saying, it was only with your aid that we weathered this assault. Without it, the Crystarium and all who dwell here would now be gone.
For each we saved, another perished. If there is anything else we can do to help, anything at all, you need only ask. This is our home too, and we want nothing more than to keep it safe.
Thank you. We are blessed to have you with us. As for the attack itself, Vorthri may call it divine retribution, but Sin Eaters are creatures of instinct. A coordinated assault is unprecedented. Moreover, in the absence of a Light Warden, there should have been no compulsion for lesser Sin Eaters to congregate here en masse. All of which points to a single, unavoidable conclusion.
That these minions of light answer to a higher power. He who did claim kinship with them, who did boast of control, not in idleness, 'twould seem, but in earnest. Lord Vorthri.
Indeed. What I mistook for bluster was in fact the truth. The Sin Eaters are his to command. But if he imagines this show of force will convince us to bend the knee, he is sorely mistaken.
I take it your meeting in Yulmore did not end well.
You could say that, yes. But I am wiser for the experience nevertheless. It appears he has mastered a technique which allows him to enslave the minds of others. A fact I discovered when he attempted to use it on me.
That would go some way towards explaining the peculiar reverence afforded him by his subjects. There may feasibly be a handful of true believers among them, I suppose, but it would not surprise me if the vast majority were in his thrall.
Had I not anticipated his treachery, I might well have joined them. But seeing his invitation for what it was, I sent a glamour in my stead. I rather doubt such tricks will avail me a second time, however.
Did you have any luck tracking down the Light Warden in Calusia?
Sadly, I have nothing to report on that front. What of Armorang?
After a fruitless few days scouring ruins, I resorted to asking the locals. While no one I spoke to had seen any sign of the Warden, I did uncover a possible lead. An abandoned mine in western Armorang. From what the Mord told me, it would be a perfect place to stay out of sight. Of course, I could never hope to explore such a labyrinth quickly or safely on my own, so I returned here.
Even should we all join in the endeavor, an exhaustive search could take weeks, and with no guarantee of finding anything.
The Wardens harbor vast reservoirs of primordial light, do they not? Far beyond anything found in lesser Sin-Eaters. And isn't it true that the Oracle could see the light of a Sin-Eater from miles away? Surely a Warden would seem like a blazing beacon by comparison. To the real Oracle of Light, I mean. The real Menphilia. If we travel to Armorang, to the south where she halted the flood, I could summon her back. What do you think?
Don't.
Don't what? Do what I can. What we both know is right.
Do not presume to know my mind. You have no idea what you're proposing.
But I do! I know why you never said anything. Because you thought you could keep me safe by keeping me in the dark. And maybe I thought so too. But I knew, Thancred. I always knew.
Oh, I see. I thought you were a rather underwhelming reincarnation. But it all makes sense now. The Oracle lies dormant within you, doesn't she? But to draw on her true power, you must become one, both body and soul. To wit, one being must consume the other. Who shall be the lucky winner?
This doesn't concern you, Ascian.
But it plainly concerns you. Which is why your heart is ready to burst out of your chest. Despite the raging tempest in your bosom, however, you have never once opened up to your young charge. Now, why would that be? Love. Well, I for one think it's a marvelous idea. Certainly more promising than any of your other suggestions. So, it's off to Armorang we go.
I'll meet you at the gates.
Sorry to be so insistent, but I know this is the only way. If you want to give me a chance, come with us. Are we at the Tessellation destination? Sorry for the wait, I'm ready now. Are you sure you want to do this? Completely sure. There has to be another way. Look, no matter what happens to me, I'm sure that I don't want to go back to being who I was. I want to be stronger, strong enough to face my destiny. And I want to believe that I can play a part in saving this world. I hope you can find it in yourself to believe it too. When you put it that way... Oh. That's Ishtola. When you put it that way, how could we not? It is your decision to make. Just be sure that you are prepared when the time comes. If all are assembled, shall we depart? We'll follow your lead. What route would you have us take? About that, there's something I neglected to mention. I saw you moor an airship coming into land over Amarang while I was on my way back to the Crystarium. No doubt the same vessel that bore Vothri's forces to Raktika. Meaning we can expect to encounter armed resistance on our journey through the region. Right. Now Nabatharang lies in the southern reaches of Amarang, and there are two routes we could take to get there. The first is the eastern route, which will lead us past Mordsuk. The other is the western route, which requires a pass to the Hills of Amber. Philia and I took the eastern route last time. Yes, that's the more well-trodden path. It also makes for easier traversal than Bath Severance. But we can't use it. If we did, we need to cross the Severance from a point nearby the inn at Journey's Head. If the Umorans caught wind of our approach, we could very well bring them into contact with the inn and its patients, and we could be sure their activities would not meet with Vothri's approval. It will make the journey more arduous, but I believe it will be safer to take the western route. Which brings me to my proposition. While you make for the Hills of Amber in the west, I will draw the Umorans' attention elsewhere, to an area in the east that I know to be uninhabited. That way you will have a chance at reaching Nabatharang unopposed, and without risk to civilians. I cannot deny that it is a sound plan, but nor can I allow you to go alone. My skills will make your task at least somewhat easier, will they not? I will accompany you as well. It will afford us a chance to have a proper conversation. And if I go with the others, I'm likely to say something Thancred will regret. Well then, we'll leave the work of distracting Vothri's forces to you. The rest of us will take the western route, and try to avoid attracting attention. With that in mind, I think it best that we follow the route from the bridges. We'll move faster with a solid path under our feet. We'll borrow a few armor for our journey. I'll leave the rest to you, Philia. Thank you. I'll try not to disappoint. There you are. The gate leading to Amarang is just up ahead. And all the time I've been there, I never ventured to the Hills of Amber. Not that I'm particularly intimidated by new lands at this point, but we have more than enough reasons to be cautious as it is. Keep an eye on Philia for me, would you? Also soon, Mistress Fortunes, we've barely had the time to recover from the battle. If you're certain, I'm hardly in a position to question you.
Take comfort in the bonds you share. Accept the pain when the time comes to part. Press on, for joy and sorrow walk hand in hand. Beyond Mount Garik lie the Hills of Amber, beneath which run hidden veins of mineral wealth. Or ran, at least. Mayhap they are spent. Or mayhap the ringing of hammers can yet be heard below.
The place has been scarred by the flood too. Who can say what lies ahead? Whatever else this road may be, it is mine to travel, and I don't plan to take a moment of the time I spend upon it for granted. I take it you're seeing what I'm seeing. Finding a village when we're hardly 10 paces into the hills is a surprising stroke of luck, especially given our recent fortunes. But you won't hear any complaints from me. Let's see if the folk who live here can tell us what to expect from the road ahead. You sell? No. No, you're no merchant. But then why do I know your face? Oh, I remember. You spend Verbert gold. Such a coin purse cracking. You are already a legend among moored traders. You're a traveling merchant, then. Can you tell us anything about this village? Of course. Anything for valued customers. This place is Garrick. Before the flood, it was home to many miners. After, not so many. Now, none. So Master Genkin borrowed the village, made it into a trading post. Very convenient location. In which case, you all must be familiar with the local roads, correct? We're on our way to Nabatharang ourselves. If we continue south from here, will we have any difficulties reaching it? Oh yes, great difficulty. The flood rent the stone and crushed the mines surrounding Nabatharang. Only steep cliffs and collapsed tunnels remain. Oh no. But surely there must be some way. You think any of the other moored might have some sort of hidden route? Perhaps. You ask, they tell. Tell for free, even, to friends of our best customer. Wonderful. Thank you for your help. Well then, best customer, let's see what information your reputation buys us. You wish to go to Nabatharang? There was a way once, a gondola down from the cliffs, but it was built for those who had left something behind they wished to retrieve. Now there is nothing left, and no one to use it. You may search for it if you like, but I doubt that its rusted wires could bear your weight. You hastily take down a memo regarding the gondola on a spare scrap of parchment. For Nabatharang, airship is best. Nothing is faster than an airship. The Umorans have one, I hear. You can ask them to take you. Though it seems somewhat superfluous to do so, you dutifully make note of Gungun's words. Oh, that's a surprise. Not many bound for Nabatharang these days. I do know of a trolley that once went there. It used to travel between all the settlements and mines of the hills of Amber. It's locked behind a gate, however. I assume that will have kept it from being stolen or damaged, but also prevents it from being much use. You take down information regarding the trolley on a wrinkled piece of parchment before stuffing it unceremoniously back into your bag. Can I interest you in some rock wrigglers? Plump, juicy, and wriggly. No? There's something else I can help you with. Nothing, because you are not my quest objective. Fidwin, I'm afraid I learned little of use about how to reach Nabatharang. The Umoran presence, though, that's another matter. Apparently, though their army is definitely in Amarang, there have been no sightings of Umorans at all in the Hills of Amber. Perhaps we can take that as a sign that Alze's plan has borne some fruit. any better luck finding us a route forward. A bit of paper with gondola from cliffs, potential death trap, scrawled upon it. A bit of paper with hills of amber trolley, behind gate, scrawled upon it. A bit of paper with airships, UNWANTED presence confirmed, scrawled upon it. So these are our options. Well, what do you think? We can try the gondola, might die, but eh. Can we get an airship anywhere? Not from Vothri, obviously. Gate aside, the trolley seems most feasible. We're gonna go with the gondola. I'd rather not, if it's all the same to you. If it went poorly, we couldn't simply wave our hands and vanish into the ether like a Stola. Not that I would recommend it, even if we could. We could perhaps use an Amaro, but even from at a distance I can't imagine the UNWANTED army would spot us if we were to travel by air. It does seem to be the least risky of our options. I can't imagine one gate is enough to thwart you. I'd like to know a bit more before we dash off in search of it, though. Perhaps Zunzun can offer some insight. Oh, valued customers, we're the other mode of help. Of a fashion, they told us of a trolley that runs to Nabatharang at least. But am I correct in thinking that there was a reason you did not do so yourself, when first we asked? Yes, the gate, you see, it is impassable. Before there was a hulking thing of stone, the Talos, had opened the gate, they say. But none operate such a thing now. I do not even know if it yet exists. I do not know, but you should travel east to Mount Bearden Mines. That is where the trolley controls stand. I still see miners there from time to time. If anyone knows what happened to the Talos, it would be them. Thank you, you've been a great help. We're off to Mount Bearden then. Let's hope that someone will be there to answer our questions. The scale of the track is impressive, I'll give them that. And we only need to follow it until we come to the mines. Bit of a mess, isn't it? But the mechanisms for dispatching the trolley are here, just as Zunzun said. Unfortunately, anyone who might know how to use them is not. We might wait for Zunzun's mysterious mines to appear, or have a look around and see if we can deduce anything useful in their absence. I'm in favor of the latter. Something near the entrance to the mines proper, called Let me tell you something. These names. Sometimes. I swear, I can't even. Something near the entrance to the mines proper caught Urianger's eye. Meet us there if you find anything. It was just one more line. It was just one more line. And I was home free. Flecks of rust adorn the rails, but they nevertheless appear sturdy enough to bear the trolley without issue. The benches within suggest that this must have been a passenger car. Oddly enough, though it is clearly old, it appears to be well maintained. Yep. Conspicuous cup. The cup is slightly warm, and a fair amount of tea, steeped over long if the color is any indication, remains within. What hast thou discerned? I see. Indeed, thine observations are consistent with mine own. But let us refrain from further discussion ere our comrades arrive. Ample evidence of recent maintenance, and lukewarm tea besides. The levers for switching tracks looked like they were in good condition, though I couldn't move them myself. No ordinary person could, I think. It is my belief that no person is meant to. This Talos beareth more than a passing resemblance to golems of the source. Nor doth it appear to be the sole example of its kind. Proliferation of Talos fragments, as well as the enormity of the mechanisms here, suggest a considerable number were once in operation. Alas, this specimen and its fellows now lie lifeless and broken, and I know not how to repair them that they might facilitate our passage through the gate. Without the aid of the Talos, even if thou wert somehow able to unbar the trolley's path, we would still have no means of repelling it. We might not know how to repair the Talos, but someone must. Otherwise, why keep everything else in working order? Whoever's maintained the cars and rails must know something that we don't. Let's ask them what it is, shall we? Faven, I do believe you'll find a person of some interest skulking in the shadows behind the warehouses on the northwestern side of the tracks. While you two have a friendly chat, the rest of us will gently encourage those of the south to come out of hiding. Defend yourselves as necessary, of course, but do try to keep everyone in one piece. Off we go, then. Okay, White, where did you come from? Oh, never mind that. You have no business here, of that I'm sure. Oh no, I'm under attack. What are you? Ugh. Good to hear. These two weren't much trouble either. Let's see what they have to say for themselves. Us? We're not the brigands come to take what's ours. Let's try that again. Us? We're not the brigands come to take what isn't ours. Do we honestly look like we'd need to steal? What, some rusted bits of iron? Don't be absurd. We're not here to rob you. A likely story. You look, well... You don't look normal, that's for certain. You don't have any wares, so you're clearly not merchants. Travelers never pass this way. The only reason you would come all the way out here is to strip the machinery for parts. Oh, Thef, I have an idea. What if, once upon a time, a lovely lady of noble birth ventured forth in search of her lost love, joined by her two most loyal servants, sworn to follow her unto world's end. On their journey, they met a sorcerer as ancient as time itself. Moved by the lady's devotion, he offered to be their guide, and they turned up here somehow. I can only assume that you've been intentionally obtuse, but the unlikely event that that's serious conjecture. No. Suppose I'm a bodyguard of a sort. We have rather large concerns that fairy tale romances. Though I would fain hear more of this ageless sorcerer and his heroic deeds. God grant me strength. If I may, we're actually searching for a means by which to travel to Nab the Ring. We were hoping that the trolley here might offer a solution. I realize that we haven't gotten off to the best starts, but if you know anything about how we might get it working again. The trolley? The trolley? You should have led with that. We're always keen to discuss the trolley. We're both engineers in training. In fact, Jarek and Thaf at your service. Technically, I'm a miner, and he does repair work. Our true passion is the trolley. We were working with a few other folks to get up and running again. Before you ask, yes, it's true that there's little in need of transport these days. But that's no reason to consign a miracle of mechanical innovation to dust. The mere sight of it traveling the track once again would make our hearts soar, mark my words. You hear no argument from us. What progress have you made thus far? Not as much as we'd like, truth be told. But there's anything we could do to assist you? We could gather materials or help put pieces together. A sight more complicated than that, I'm afraid. If you spoke with Magnus, you'd understand. He's the only one with full knowledge of the trolley's operation. Suppose you could speak with him if you like. We'll introduce you. Very well. Our options are limited, and if this Magnus can explain whatever is preventing the trolley from being restored, I'd like to hear it. Right, looks like you'll be following us back to Twine, then. If you're ready, we can leave right now. Though you haven't seen another fellow around here, have you? Thought he'd have come out by now. You think he'll be alright? That's... I suppose you did force your hand a bit. I'll have a look, just in case. You're going to head Thaf. Alright, looks like it's just you and me then. Try not to let anything take a bite out of you on the way to the rail yard. Damn, that's smarts. Do you have to thumb me so hard? I'll be feeling that for the next fortnight at least. Not to be done about now, though. Point your overeager companions in the right direction. They've gone on ahead, so I need to get moving. Not only walk atop the tracks, but seeing as the young lady has much shorter stride, it's more perilous than a route than I'm comfortable suggesting. I don't want anyone falling through the gaps. Of course, the low road presents other dangers, but I haven't been on the receiving end of your friend's blows. I'm not worried on that account. Jerk path. Wait a moment, I think I hear something. Oh, that's something, alright. Run! It's just a gibbering coyote. Sorry about that. I'll admit, I didn't expect this route to be quite so fraught with danger. We're nearly to Twine, though, so we should make it without further incident. Should we? This is it. Welcome to Twine. The original dwellings were built to house those laborers tasked with building the track. Over time, miners came to seek their fortunes, and that's what made the town grow to what you see before you today. But it was still the trolley that brought them here. As you doubtless noticed, the track goes to the very heart of the town. It was the heart of the town, back when the trolley still carried everyone home at the end of each hard day in the mines. Now there's no trolley. No much work to be had in the mines, for that matter. The only residents that remain are the destitute, the delusional, and those with nowhere else to go, or so they say. I should give you some indication of what to expect when you meet Magnus. As I said, it will help you understand why you can't get the trolley running. Just don't expect too much aside from that. Well, that's encouraging, but I don't see that we have much choice. Let's go and meet the man. Who are you supposed to be? Never seen the three of you in my life. Or the four of you? Wicked White, if you're going to bother me, at least have the damn courtesy to stand still. He thinks this one is deep in his cups. These are my guests, Magnus. I ran into them at the mines. They're looking for a way to reach Nabatha Ring, so they came to ask about the trolley, you see. What? There's nothing in Nabatha Ring. Not anymore. And especially not for frail little girls. Give it up. No, we must reach Nabatha Ring. I must. Huh. So you have your heart set on it. The world doesn't care. This place is a ruin, nothing more. And you're not getting there in the trolley. The thing doesn't run on hopes and dreams. We're not fools. It's necessity that drives us to Nabatha Ring. If you insist that the trolley is not an option, at least tell us why. No. No, I'm sick of people asking me about the blasted thing. Leave me be. We'll speak outside. He only said that because he thinks I'm weak, and he's right. But I can't be, I won't be forever. There has to be some way. I must find it. I'm sorry, I was stuck in my own head again. It's clear that Magnus has no intention of helping us, but perhaps we should ask the other residents. We may know something of the trolley. I'll take the north of town. Let me know if you learn anything. Thancred, art thou truly content to stand witness to fate's course and take no part? This isn't a matter of fate, Oriange. It's about choice, and I've had years to decide where I stand. And Philia has spent too long in chains already. I would not shackle her again by making my hopes known. It is for her to choose what shape her destiny will take. It is for me to stay silent, to protect her, teach her, and stand by her. That, at least, I can do for her. So be it. Come, let us make our own inquiries. Oh, there you are. You'll be pleased to know that I got our friend back home with no trouble. He's just fine. He's a bit shaken up is all. And you? What did Magnus have to say? Ah, I did have a faint hope that your need might prompt him into action where it's just not, but I suppose that was foolish of me. I'm sorry that we couldn't be of help, though. I could at least show you the trolley car we have here, if you like. You could give it a stroke or two. There's some very smooth wood. Motherfucker, what? You ever have to read something back twice? Did I read that right? You mean to say you're not giving up? Either the Magnus is Magnus? I don't see much point in your being stubborn about it, though perhaps stubbornness is exactly what the situation calls for. Can't forge iron without an anvil after all. Can't imagine that anything you try will work, but if you're certain, you can help me make preparations in the event that it does. To that end, take this toolbox. We're going to inspect the rails. I will look along the tracks for anything that's in need of repair. You bring the tools and be ready to hand them to me whenever I stop to work. Hold on, I gotta... Too large toolbox. No one could ever possibly need this many tools, let alone to carry them all on their person at one time. You open the box, revealing the proud array of lovingly maintained tools within. Brilliant! Now if you could hand me what I needed to work, that'd be help. In this case, this bolt is loose for one matter. We can't have that. I'll need to tighten it. Thank you. This one will do nicely. Now give me one moment and... There. I don't see any other problems here, so let's continue along the track. You set down the toolbox, the muscles of your arms enjoying profound relief, and open it once again. You're quite handy to have around, you know. As to the lamp here, these aren't often necessary these days, but if we're going to do this, we might as well do it properly. And if by some miracle the night returns as it did in Lakeland, well, it's a nice thought. Anyhow, a bit of this post seems to have splintered. Whether its lamp is to be lit or not, we wouldn't want these little pieces of wood jabbing the next person who comes through here to do maintenance. I'll need to sand it down a bit. Yes, a wood file is perfect. Let me even this out. That should do it. We'll bring some varnish along next time to finish the job. Haven't spotted any other problems, so we can move along now. Unless you'd like to take in the view of the tracks from here for a bit longer. It's breathtaking, I know. Mining has always been the primary vocation of folks in the hills of Amber, you see. But after a certain point, they had dug up everything that could easily be reached and carried back by manpower alone. It was then that the Naboth Empire struck upon the idea of Talos, which they had seen at work abroad. At great expense, the Naboth brought the mystical engineers who specialized in Talos here to the hills. And once you know it, the mining industry picked right up again. Twine itself sprung around that time, as a matter of fact. It was named after the entwining of tales, the fruitful cooperation between the native Ronso and the newly come Mistel. But that, like so much else, fell apart in the wake of the flood, and Mistel left, taking their knowledge with them. It was 15 years ago that the last of them, the folk from Daedalus Stoneworks, took off for Yulmore, and now no one remains that can repair and operate the Talos. There's no use in lamenting what can't be changed. There's one more thing we need to do while we're out here, so I might as well get to it. Vultures occasionally make their nests in the tracks, you see, and it falls to us to remove them when they do. Creatures are angry when disturbed, which is natural, but nevertheless a danger to anyone passing by. It's not my favorite task, to be honest with you. As you may have noticed, I'm not terribly suited to confrontation. That said, if you follow the tracks north and remove any nests you find for me, I'll keep an eye on things from here. Ancient trolley line that hasn't been running for centuries, nothing a little Sid couldn't fix. He's too busy building airships and everything. Oh man, I would have been fucking mad if I fell through. Oh boy. You sense a hostile presence. Oh man. Wonder how many people fell in that first set of tracks. Thank you. That should be everything taken care of. In return for your help, I'll tell you a bit more about the trolley. Then they can get it started again, though. As I said, the only people who knew how to repair the talus are long gone. When they left, the life began to bleed out of the town. The trolley's tracks rusted and its cars fell into disrepair. I was born in Twine, raised there. My first word was trolley, damn it, and those were the worst years of my life. But then, about 7 years passed, Magnus and his wife returned to us. Magnus is a real, proper trolley engineer. Perhaps he would never have left in the first place, if it hadn't been for his son. As you're well aware, Almarang is hardly the safest place, and Magnus wanted his child to grow up away from its dangers. It didn't help in the end. The Sun Eaters got the boy. Isn't that always the way? The child had always said that someday he wanted to see Magnus's trolley running again, so in his memory they returned to Twine. He started fixing those rusted rails and broken cars. It was going well for a time. Wicked White. Vultures? Are they back for revenge? Never mind, I don't want to find out. Nice work out there. Now you know the story of the trolley. Wouldn't do you much good without the talus, though. If there's even a single one that still functioned, things might be different, but, well, here we are. Alright.